ladies and gentlemen, China is doing things different from the US. Now, the US, they want to get the vaccine out and they want to get as many people in the population vaccinated. Well, China is saying it's not necessary to vaccinate a whole population of people. They are only interested in giving these shots to first responders, frontline workers, and people that are working in healthcare that's going to come in contact with patients with coronavirus. They said everybody else, it's really not necessary to give them the shot. So this came out on CNN September 14th, 2020. China says no need to vaccinate entire population against COVID-19 at this stage, only frontline workers. I'm going to go ahead and play this video.
You feel hopeful just looking at the packaging and small vials. Might this vaccine bring us back to our lives before coronavirus? The Chinese company behind it believes it might.
Sinovac's goal is to provide a vaccine with good quality, good safety, good immunogenicity to the people in the world.
Sinovac is among 13 companies in China working on a COVID-19 vaccine. It is one of just 9 that are well into clinical trials. The biotech company began developing its vaccine in late January. Construction on this, their newest facility in Beijing, started about 2 months later. One of the things we noticed walking in here is that this space is brand new. It's not even been used. They started building it in March, and they did that for 2 reasons. One, for regulatory reasons here in China. They need a separate space to produce this vaccine. And the other is because of the demand. They need the production space to meet it. While its borders remain largely sealed off, life within China has returned to near normal in most places. So much so that Wuhan has hosted crowded pool parties. And in Beijing, no longer are you required to wear a face mask when outside, assuming you're a safe distance from others. China credits mass testing and strict contact tracing. But health experts warn those stringent measures impact immunity levels.
In these places, then definitely the way forward is vaccinate.
In the past 2 months, the Chinese government has granted 2 vaccine companies special emergency approval to launch their vaccines. Typically, a vaccine takes years to go through trials and reach production. Do you feel confident enough to take the vaccine?
Yeah, I do, because the vaccine roadmap we are using is demonstrated and proved technology.
They estimate they will be able to produce about 300 million vaccines a year. And that's why they believe the more vaccines in the marketplace, the better.
Yeah, I think the competition is more like we compete with the virus, right? Our speed should be faster than the transmitting of the virus instead of competing with others. We like everyone to be successful.
China has faced sharp criticism from many countries, most notably the US, for its initial handling of the outbreak. But some nations might be willing to look past all of that if China can deliver the solution with a dose of hope.
Okay. So, China said not everyone in China will get vaccinated against COVID-19, according to the country's top medical official, as Beijing looks to prioritize frontline workers and high-risk populations in a move that underscores raising confidence among policymakers of the ability to contain the virus. Since the first wave of COVID-19 appeared in Wuhan, China has already survived the impact of COVID-19 several times. Okay, so like everybody else, they're working on a vaccine. The question of vaccinating the public was one balancing risk and benefits, pointing to factors like cost and potential side effects. There isn't currently a need for mass vaccination at this stage, though we could change that if another serious outbreak takes place. The policy marks China's part from many Western governments, most notably Australia, that have outlined plans to introduce mass public vaccination drives. China reported virus numbers have stayed low since this spring. There have been a few flare-ups, clusters in northeastern Jilan province in May, an outbreak in Beijing in June, and another in the city of Urumqi in July. And these were met with immediate lockdown measures and mass testing. The outbreaks were contained within a few weeks. So they're still having outbreaks. But you know what? I think China is not telling the truth anyway about the amount of people that had it and the amount of people that died. And if you remember, they pretty much killed off that doctor that outed them, and other doctors have disappeared because that's what they do. They'll try to shut them down that way. So just like you really can't believe America, you really can't believe China either, because neither one of these countries are going to tell the truth. Everybody is trying to look like they're so important and have so much knowledge and so much know-how. And it's a joke at the end of the day. It really is. And now there's outbreaks in Europe. Europe is saying they're going through a second wave. It never stopped being high in the US, and parts of South America, they're struggling. So all I can say is I just don't see this winter and of course fall, which we're approaching, is not going to be any easier here. In fact, it'll probably be more widespread during that time because, especially in places like where I am, when it gets cold, people tend to be in more. And you're running the risk of it spreading, what they call a community spread. That's what you're running the risk of having now. But y'all, please tell me what you think. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.